So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain
How'd
his
they
body
do it?
disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though.
So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time?
It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What?
How? If the dead body
Disneyland.
were to move itself.
Poggers.
Zombieism?
Moved on its
This is
own?
Zamboni.
No! Not another... No!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? I guess that does explain him moving.
I mean, who would be able to lift Hifumi? Out of everybody here, who could lift him?
Are you saying
Sakura.
that when we
Yes.
first found...
Do you think Sakura would lift him? Or move his body?
No.
What's the only other logical explanation?
He got up and moved.
Yeah, there you go.
What are my things? The wristwatch again.
I didn't see this time.
Celeste account. Did I disappear when Celeste the nurse's office to use the bathroom? Apparently they were gone. To... I think it would be her account.
Found Hifumi in the nurse's office.
Oh.
In the equipment room
Equipment room
bloodstain.
bloodstain.
That's the tire tracks.
Yeah, that's definitely not it. So yeah, I think it must be her account. The wristwatch doesn't really make sense either.
There's a chance he was actually still alive.
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure
He's
about
talking
that?
about his friend.
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Nope, that was not the right time to do that. I hit the wrong gun.
Shoot! Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
Like Zoink
there's a
Scoob!
chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead.
You
And
do
you
that
know
pretty
that
well.
how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the
Are we really so maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery?
No, what?
That's a good point. Don't forget you can suck up bullets.
I tried to do that just then.
It
Body
ended
discovery
though.
announcement was only once, that much I'm sure of.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement...
Are we really so sure? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Oh, that would make sense. But I got the right two.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi and then there's a chance he was actually...
No. Hifumi was dead. And you know that surely you heard the body that Hifumi's dead body had, and that is why the announcement.
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Do I get to
You
keep?
get to keep it.
Indeed. That's funny, you tried to do that the first time.
There's a chance he was actually still alive.
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead. Without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Yeah!
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Second body discovery announcement. We found each body in the soft living room. Second time is when both bodies were discovered.
What could it be?
That
We
one.
heard it a second time in the repository when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Ding dong, ding
A
dong.
body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the quest trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So
Oh
when we
my.
found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. It's really upsetting that Celeste is the killer. I'm very sad.
I'm so sorry this is happening to you.
The door.
Dolly.
Oh, his glasses are different.
Oh, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's
Bless you.
office. And then, while me and
Gazoo.
Celeste were in the back, his body disappeared.
Salud.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned,
Dang it.
Maybe you should take my advice of waiting to hear every
Here's
option.
one thing to do. The first time we found him, and then his body disappeared.
And the next time it was in the.
But when you compare his body before being other than the change in how
You
it
got to
was
find the
positioned, there was
spicy
no
meatball.
notable difference.
Then was
Of course not. It is impossible. This is ridiculous. So
Now
here's
what
one thing.
could it
The first time we found him, and then his body disappeared.
Zarudo.
and the next time it was
But when you
Zawarudo.
compare his body before, other than
Wouldn't
the
that be
change in
interesting
how
if
it
there was a
positioned,
Danganronpa
there
with
was no
stands?
notable difference.
Yeah.
then
That would make things
Putting
much more
with
difficult.
JoJo characters in Danganronpa.
Of course not. It is
Indeed.
impossible. This is ridiculous.
What could it
Well, here's
be?
one thing we do. The first time we found him, and then his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body,
it was in.
But when you compare his body before, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
No notable differences. Oh, what do you know?
I knew it was that one. I just need to line it up.
I like this one.
Excuse you. Excuse you.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository.
He was swole.
His
Extra
glasses.
small.
Hifumi.
That fact alone proves that
I mean,
he was
he's
only
got to be
playing
strong
dead
to
in the
carry that much
beginning.
fat around.
Perhaps
It's
you'd like
true.
to
Fat
fill the
people
rest
are
of us
super
in?
strong
That's true.
because they have so much fat and they're so heavy.
When we
He
found
took all of his
Look
fat
at his
away.
legs, though.
Yeah, that's true.
His
Okay.
glasses
Clearly he
were
skips
covered
leg
in
day.
blood.
Indeed. His arms don't look very big either.
But when we found
all
him again
center
later
mass.
in the repository,
That's true. He probably
He
doesn't
was
usually actually
spotless.
move.
Yeah.
and I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
What could it be?
The blue tarp?
The spotless hammer? That's how I clean my glasses.
You'd have to buy a new pair each time.
Exactly.
That's
That's how you get the cleanest glasses.
These are
possible.
dirty.
This piece of cloth was used
Basically,
to wipe
yes.
Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
Oh.
Yo, my.
Princess Piggles. From Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly
She's a fan.
doubt
How else would she
anyone
remember
but
that?
Hifumi
Indeed.
would have
I was just
thought
thinking
something
that too.
like this was
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses
I've seen this class trial like
are-
5 times. And I
On
still
the
couldn't
other
remember.
hand,
Indeed.
Hina, knowing that, like, I'm sorry, I could probably recite something like that if it was something Skylar was into. So if Hina has a sister, which I could totally see her having a younger sister or something, like, yeah, when your siblings into it, they talk about it constantly, you just end up memorizing crap you don't need to know.
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky
She doesn't have
piece
a
of
sister.
garbage like
Indeed.
that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my
She does have a
glasses
brother.
clean.
Who could be
There's
into
no
anime.
question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is...
Seems unlikely though, I guess, given his ultimate ability.
What I'm saying is,
Indeed.
the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible.
Copious
wouldn't you
Corpse should
say?
be a great name for a metal band.
I agree.
Indeed.
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Who done it? Taka! Clearly.
Indeed.
Why would Hifumi move the corpse?
Why, indeed. Well, if nobody else, who else could have?
Sakura?
We know that Sakura was with everybody else. Taka was dead.
Yeah, so but why would he do that?
Maybe he collected
While
them
we
like
were all
figures.
gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room.
This
and
is
took
the
Taka's
final
body.
one for my
That
collection.
also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
I mean, Taka
I'm
did,
into Taka.
After the bodies disappeared,
he did basically go
Ryan
Super
looked
Saiyan,
right?
so he was close to
So
an
maybe
anime
Sakura
character.
had to the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside, which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murder.
What a naughty boy.
Indeed.
I just
What?
can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Yes.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
What could it be?
A big.
It's the repository door.
What a kind soul. He was trying to save him. He was pinned under the door.
Indeed.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
Nice.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Guys.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we could use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. For now, let's meet at the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Fumi's pants.
Can I please answer
Clearly.
that?
I mean, it's wrong.
I got it!
There's nothing special about the wrong answer.
That's right! Taka!
And that's right.
The killer
It was
used this
me.
note to draw out Taka
Dio.
and murder him.
Exactly, I was gonna say.
Hello, over here!
It was
Objection!
me,
Objection!
Dio.
I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Talking Huffy. Love that.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Hina, oh my god.
Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Me and all my friends. Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I can't let her get to me.
That's a lot of bullets.
Wow!
What could it be?
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, that's wrong!
Poggers.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
I wish Genocide Jill had a TikTok
What are you talking
account.
about?
Me too!
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka
I wish
was
you would call
murdered.
me her little pog champ.
You've already proved that using his wristwatch.
Sure you want Celeste to call you her
But
little
there's
podcast?
more.
I
Look
prefer
where
that.
The note says to meet the equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that.
No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show.
Proof is.
What could it be?
I got it!
Whoa!
When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Ooh, they're different.
They're from the same piece of paper.
Oh,
Hifumi
okay.
had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an
What
accomplice
if
in the
Taka
murder.
replicated the scrap perfectly, though?
Yeah.
After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Yeah, it's beautiful. He's wearing my hair as a scarf, guys.
Sorry, no.
Is it as good as a game theory scarf?
Is it what?
When we
Is it
found
as good
in
as a
the
game theory
repository,
scarf?
Hifumi
No.
was truly and
No.
completely dead.
I've had this hair for a long time. That game theory scarf keeps me much warmer.
The second body
Well,
discovery
I've never worn the
announcement
game
proves
theory
that.
scarf. So that's not true. I wore it
So then, who killed Hifumi?
for all of
Whoever
30
did is
seconds.
the mastermind.
Because I wouldn't be caught dead in game theory merch for anything longer than that.
For anything. What?
Continue.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting
Would you
Taka's
rather wear a
body.
game theory shirt or a Freddy Fazbear shirt?
Freddy
Taka's
Fazbear.
body vanished, before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time,
It would be
we
funny to
all
have a
split
Freddy
up and were
Fazbear
searching
shirt.
for Taka's
Indeed.
missing body. In other words, during that time,
You could pick up all
none
the
of us had
ladies.
alibis.
Would you have
But me
been
and Sakura
interested in
were
me if I
together.
was wearing a Freddy Fazbear shirt on our first date?
No.
Okay.
Okay, maybe. I will say that first date, something I remember very clearly is that you had a button up, and I thought that, like, considering we were grabbing tacos and then going to an arcade, I thought that it was really cool that you still put the effort in. So that stood out to me as a big, like, green flag, I suppose. And just a t-shirt would have been, like, not as memorable.
Okay.
So, probably less
What if it
interested
was a
on the
Freddy Fazbear button up?
Oh, snap.
I definitely would have been like, oh my god, nope.
So life is just a dating sim, and you just flipped the great flag.
Indeed.
I knew it.
Anyway, one they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
Where's my
The weapon they
weed?
used to kill Hifumi.
A weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository,
What?
You are so distracting.
Culprit
so
would have had to
sorry.
grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah! It's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around
Similar
those
instruments.
other rooms...
Must have been a
So the
tuba.
question is, how could
Or
the
a clarinet.
culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
All depends on how hard you swing.
Then...
That's true.
That's what she said.
Is it not possible they used a
What?
different
Is it?
weapon?
I don't see how that's what she said. Anyways, continue.
I'm not gonna try and explain what I'm seeing in my head.
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill...
The weapon that was actually used to kill Fumi, the... Time of truth, okay.
Which could it be?
Make your argument. Broken Blue
Which could it be?
Spotless.
What
was
was
the
used
wrist
to kill
flash.
Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear.
I wonder if that's a real thing.
The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
That's a good question.
And
I'm glad this is gonna be on your Wi-Fi, Austin.
What was used
What
to
was,
kill
what was the
Hifumi?
slash?
Slash hammer time, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see if the domain is real first. Alright, it redirects to something else. Murdergear.bigcartel.com.
Big Cartel.
It's got Zombie the Outbreak CD, Zombie White Logo Tee, Zombie Black Logo / Glow Logo Tee, Zombie Infectious Tee, Zombie FlexFit Logo Cap.
It must be like a band or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Justice Hammer 3?
Maybe Justice...
Well, there's one. How was the culprit able to? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
What
Yeah,
was
Big
used-
Cartel
was it
is
just
easy
Justice
online stores for makers and artists.
How did nobody?
Ah.
Apparently.
I'm glad it's not an actual Big Cartel.
Indeed.
well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the...
No, it's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository.
That's not completely different. That's only slightly
Easily
different.
used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and
Disagree.
debris.
No, you're vibing over my thumb, which is gonna make me
For
hit
some
the X button
reason,
on accident
One
again.
of them had been scrubbed clean.
Okay, well now I can't touch nothing.
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder.
That's what she said.
If the hammer got covered
Why are
in
you obsessed with
Hifumi's
my thumb
blood,
grip?
of course they'd have to clean it
Wow,
off.
baby.
No.
Yes! You need the
I'd
pets.
also like to point out that the
I'm a doge.
repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones.
Wow.
I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.